Programming skill is not mandatory for a data scientist. What is this? In one of my videos named Becoming a Data Scientist, I said that knowing any one of the programming languages for data science is good. In that area also I have covered the different the different features of the languages Python, R, SAS and SQL. So knowing any one of those language will help you do your data scientist job very well. I said in that video. Now I am saying that programming skill is not at all mandatory, which is correct. Both are correct. If you are learning a programming language and that is easy for you, then learn a programming language is what I mentioned, Python or R anything. Then you can do whatever you want in the data science programmatically that you can do on yourself. At the same time, some persons who are not interested in programming, you are some person who are not interested in programming, they haven't got any experience of doing programming of any languages. At the same time, they have got interest in data science, that is, they have a great business knowledge, they have an idea about data sets, and they are having how the data can be analyzed and how the models can be applied to those data and how the story can be viewed to interpret the results of the model to the client. All those features, all those skills they have got. But the only thing is they are not interested in learning any programming language. What do you think? They needed to quit the job of a data science. They are needed to quit the interest of becoming a data scientist? No. Nowadays, there are a number of softwares that are using a GUI, where these kind of people can arrange whatever they want in a data science in a workflow, then the programming will be taken care of that by that software. That is the reason nowadays the programming skill is not at all a mandatory for becoming a data scientist. So a data scientist, what is his role? He has to identify a business problems and he has to work on the given data set that is given to him, and once the data set is available, then how to analyze it with a different perspective to get the insights, and then they can build a machine learning language to visualize and predict outcomes. Once everything is done, they have got the results or they have come to some conclusions and insights, then they have to view a story that conveys the insights to the stakeholders. This is the important responsibilities of data scientists. So we can see that the job role of a data scientist involves mainly modeling skills, communication skills, business domain knowledge, and analytical skills, all of which rank above the technical programming skills. So these are all very important rather than the technical programming skills. If you have your programming skills, well and good. But that is not a mandatory. These what we have listed suggested now. Those skills are very much important for a data scientist. The programming skills can be workaround. We can do the workaround, and instead of doing program by yourself, you can use any one of the GUI applications, GUI software that will take care of the programming languages. The only important and mandatory skill that one must have to become a successful data scientist, the ability to analyze data and bring meaningful insights out of it. That is, once you see the data, you identify the raw data, you should be able to bring the insights. How the insight or the hidden pattern can be brought up. That is what very much important for a data scientist. Programming, that's why I'm saying nowadays there are some number of software, all those things and all those programming will be taken care of by that software. The only thing is you have to arrange or you have to tell what is to be done to that software. That's all. So the lack of programming skills, the lack of programming skills should not put a full stop to starting a new career in data science. If you have no programming skills or you haven't got a chance of experience in any programming, then you don't want to worry about whether I can get into the data science data science or not. It is and nowadays the softwares are available that will take care of the programming. You have to only concentrate in the data analytics area only. That is an advantage nowadays available. So, so if you are if you don't love programming or not an expert in programmers, then what you should do for in the programming skill level for area, you should be familiar with any one of the GUI software that is coming with this kind of this kind of provisions. And that is you have to drag and drop some models and arrange a workflow. Then the programming will be taken care of by that software. One of the softwares we will see in the next slide how the diagram would be looking like that. So for which you don't have to or you don't want to program, you can become an exceptional data scientist. You can concentrate all other areas. That is was important for a data science. That is not replaceable. Programming can be replaceable by any software, but the analyzing the business program, analyzing the raw data, and applying different kind of perspectives and creating models with a different parameter. All those things are not replaceable. That you should do. But the programming can be replaced by any new software that you can use for your data science projects. So even if you can't or don't want to program, you can become an exceptional data scientist. That is the situation at present. Let's suppose you are creating a customer segmentation engine for a retail chain. Now we are going to how to use a UE software. We can take an example that is for a customer, for a client, you are creating a customer segmentation engine. Customer segmentation is a customer cluster. One cluster is one of the unsupervised learning that we will learn in later in our training. So you are creating a customer clusters for a retail chain. So what you do is you have received two sources. For our example, we received two different sources. One is a table containing the customer's demographic information, and other is about their buying pattern. So these two should be joined together. Then only you can apply the model. So your task is to update the cluster representation every day as you receive the new data. So the SSL, this is the workflow. Here in the software we are using is 9. It is one of the GUI-based data science tool you can use. And there are a number of GUI-based. Every cloud can have their own, or they can recommend some other GUI-based data science tool also. But in the left hand side, you can see a diagram that is a workflow diagram for the um, for the project what we just discussed. That is the clustering of the customers. And this workflow contains two parts. One part is the data engineering, and another one is data science. Data engineering means in the data engineering we are doing the ETL process. ETL is extract, transform, load. So in our example, we have got two data sets. One is for demographics characteristics of the customers, and another one is the buying pattern of customers. These two are extracted. That is called that is the extraction part. Once it is extracted, they can be joined together, and if needed, it can be filtered. This is called a transformation. Once it is transformed, then it can be loaded into our path so that it can be used for future reference. This is called the load part of the ETL. So in the data engineering part, we are doing ETL, extract, transform, load. In extract, we are extracting these two files. In transform, we are joining these two tables and filter the tables. In load, we are saving the combined file. The next part of this workflow is the data science area. Here the data and the data will be given to the k-means. The filtered data is given to the k-means clustering model. It is one of the clustering model that we will study later for assigning the cluster label to every customer. So this model will do assign a label to every customers, and that can be visualized. You can use some visualization tool to visualize all those things, how the customers are clustered and what are the features are important. All those things you can get through the visualization. So here you don't have to do any programming. You just assign the sources, and you can mention how to join these two sources and how to filter and where it is to be stored and what is the model you are using. Here the model you can specify any parameters and what are the visualization you are using, that is also provided in the GUI software, that is called NIME. So this is the way you don't have to have any programming skill. This kind of software can be used for programming instead of you do. That is the reason, if you don't have any programming skill or if you are not interested to learn any programming, that is not a full stop for becoming a data scientist. You can use this kind of software and you can concentrate the important responsibilities of data science. Thank you. Thank you.